Welcome in, everyone. What's happening? Happy New Year. Mustard! I guess y'all already know what kind of reaction this is going to be. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick Lamar, 2025, TDE. This is the year. You know what I'm saying? DRAKE-ISHA. You cool? Ain't gonna get in your feelings, yeah? No more bitch assness. Ain't gonna be crying, right? You sure? Alright. Alright, let's get straight into this one. You know what I'm saying? Because the headline kind of lets you know what it's all about. OVO has a Glazer problem. Serious Glazer, open brackets, stan, close brackets, problem. Let's see what they're saying. Welcome
Kendrick
in.
and Drake's feud has divided hip-hop in a lot of ways. Whether it's across coasts, countries, or even crews, the ensuing fallout from Kendrick's new album and the news that Drizzy was preparing to sue has left everyone picking sides once more. Even in the one place where objectivity is supposed to be held in the highest esteem. Recently, a media war has kicked off between Team Kendrick and the OVO Vengers. And unfortunately for Drake's most adamant defenders, they
Man said the OVO Avengers. Come on, let's go.
Team Kendrick and the OVO Vengers. And unfortunately for
Look at the
Drake's
picture,
most
hold
adamant
up. Adam22, Drewski, Akademiks, and is that Mal? Hold up there.
was kicked off between Team Kendrick and the OVO Vengers.
that
And
Mal?
unfortunately for Drake's most adamant defenders, they just can't seem to acknowledge the L. It's your boy
Facts.
and this is why OVO has a Glazer problem. And where better to start than the man who takes the crown in that department? Ever since the Kendrick and Drake beef began, there has been a real reluctance to accept defeat on the part of his fans, as well as his mouthpieces in the media. And if there's any one man
Literally, mouthpieces.
that has led this charge, it's unquestionably DJ Akademiks. A longtime
Facts.
advocate of Drake's, he's never made any secrets that the OVO leader is his personal GOAT.
I mean, his personal GOAT, yeah, but yet footage has come to resurface of him glazing Kendrick. Like Kendrick was one of his all-time favorite rappers back then until Drake came in on the scene. And he's doing all of this glazing, and Drake is going on every streaming platform except for his. Kendrick Lamar has turned this man into a streamer. He stopped rapping and gone streaming, except for the #1 Glazer. Everybody's platforms. Aiden Ross, XQC, the other white guy, I forgot. Everybody else's platform except for yours.
And over time, they have developed a relationship of sorts where Akademiks will occasionally provide insights from Drake to people on his stream. For example, when the lawsuit went down, he was the first one to say that he heard from his camp in Toronto.
It's clearly not Drake, right? So Drake didn't tell her this. Again, first of all, I reached out to Drake too. He's not speaking on this, right? And he doesn't need to speak on it. Yeah, it is what it is. It's a lawsuit. You get what I'm saying?
This is just one of the many communications that have come our way via Akademiks over the course of the beef. Meanwhile, on Akademiks' part, he has spent most of it furiously caping for Drizzy at every opportunity and attempting to downplay the effectiveness of Dot's diss tracks. As a result, you got arguments like Kendrick never doing anything for Cali apart from harvesting its regional sounds. And to this day, Akademiks continues to proudly wave the flag for the OVO cause at every opportunity. Even though, as people have begun to note, he doesn't exactly get much of a reward for his unyielding loyalty. Instead, he sets himself up to be clowned by the public for being so blinded by admiration.
Bro, man looks like a clown out here. You know what I'm saying? A big ass clown. Doing all this glazing and you don't get nothing back. You know what I'm saying? Try your best to downplay Kendrick Lamar and what he's done to boost up your boy, but you ain't his boy. No diddy.
It doesn't help that the treatment dates back to Drake's own early encounters with him. During his one and only physical appearance on Akademiks' stream, he essentially treated him like a little brother, sunning him whenever possible.
I thought you were off the course light right now, I'm not gonna lie.
Stop it. I only drink Hennessy. I'm a cognitive dude. I lost my voice tonight. Getting hyped to your demo. I don't know why you call it a demo. It's really leaks.
I was trying to find a crafty way to deliver it to the people.
Crafty way, yeah. You hear that?
I felt a little let down because I thought we had a report.
I'm not doing an interview with you, man. I added you to see the Hennessy bottle. That's it, man. I talked.
What are you drinking?
I need to see you do it.
Man talking to him like with no respect. Like, bro, you a little biatch. You know what I'm saying?
I'm a shot right now for the people.
I'm gonna get a cup. A triple shot.
I want to see you, yo, I want to see you fry your guy right now. For all the times that me and you've been through, I need to see you pour the craziest shot right now. Do it right now for the people.
Alright, hold on.
Nah, don't play with me, man.
Of course, I'm gonna. Hey, I'm gonna pour up a shot.
Nah.
I can't wait till your album
Yo,
drop.
pour that shot. I need to see you fry your guy.
Is it a shot? This nigga drink. Alright, hold on.
This guy is in the professional gamer studio. I need to see you.
Of course, I'm in the. Hey!
And as soon as this happened, people couldn't believe that Ak couldn't see the true intent in Drake's disdainful actions towards him. From there, it set the tone for how people have seen the former everyday struggle host's unfaltering support of Drake ever since. Ak is that little kid in the movies who will do anything to impress the cool kids at school, but they really just be f***ing with him. Rather than treat Drake how he treats him, he continues to serve as the first line of defense against any Drake slander. And these days, it looks like it's taking its toll.
Even if y'all say Drake ain't win, I'm rooting for any nigga that can f Kendrick up. I'm tired of this shit. He got rappers sounding like hoes. Nigga.
Man said he rooting for anybody who could. Yo, bro. Man, you drinking that little bottle of Haterade first thing in the morning. Yo, Ak, you need to come off your high plateau, man, and get back to reality. You know what I'm saying? All this streaming fame and shit gone to your head. It got you talking nothing but glazed shit out your ass, bro. What the fuck is going on, my boy? Like, come on now.
Apologizing, scrolling through their text messages, unsending. What is this nigga doing? Y'all got the same 24 hours in a day. Why can't y'all squabble with this little midget?
Whenever a new narrative arises, such as people saying that Drake might be cooked to the extent that he might be the new Ja Rule, Akademiks just can't let it lie.
Bro,
instead, he has to spend hours of his streams unpacking it, even though no one with a brain really believes that's a fair comparison.
I love his music too much to not see that shit popping. And I still think, as I said, there's a long way to fall for him. But put it like this. Ja Rule went from being one of the most lit to irrelevant. You'll never get Drake to irrelevant. But I think when it comes to Universal, their thing might be like, we'll get Superman to bleed. Oh, y'all used to use Drake as like it was a verb. Drake is like, you know, people be like the world star effect. Like Drake, oh shit, you need that stimmy, right? I think they, you know, their thing.
About that stimulation pack. Man, you sound like you having a stiffy over there. Just talking about DRAKE-ISHA. You know what I'm saying? Man come around with that BBL Drizzy. Drop down and pop it like it's hot. And you over there like... No, did he?
Might, oh no, we ain't gonna get that nigga to go irrelevant, but we'll get him to bleed.
Likewise, he has tried to douse the flames of the narrative that if Drake had just gone independent rather than choosing to stay in bed with the major record companies right now, then he wouldn't be in this position.
Somebody did ask me, they said, why doesn't Drake go independent? And I do want to tell y'all, man, that independent shit sound good, but y'all really have no idea how much these labels control. They control market share. Here's my prediction too. If Drake ever went independent, I think Drake would be able to sell how much? I don't think he would do 300. I think he'd be if Kanye did like 100 indie, which is real indie. I'm talking about real indie. So Kanye does 100 real indie. By the way, major Kanye does 400, at least 300. Let's say 300. Drake, real indie, does 200.
Alongside his secondary account Akademiks TV that he doesn't personally run, being based
independent is still better. Whether you get 100, 200, independent, that's still maybe like 10 times, 15 times, 20 times more money you'd have than your label give you. So your label giving you like 5%, if that much. Come on now, bro. Akademiks talking some BS here right now. Right.
Basically dedicated to defaming K-Dot at every turn, Akademiks has preserved this role of a one-man PR department. But one of the most interesting things that he does is he gives Kendrick just enough credit to be able to keep some sort of objectivity. So when GNX dropped, he begrudgingly praised it.
I can't sit here and in good conscience tell you this is whack. For me to say that would be me lying, and at the end of the day, I love music. Even if I have my favorites on one side, it kept
we already see you for who you is, bro.
Do a few jabs, you still say some shit.
Man.
But there remains one major issue in Akademiks' coverage of the beef that keeps the consensus that he's a meat writer intact. Because even though he'll acknowledge a Drake loss, he'll always waive any personal
They say you had that sausage, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know, no relish.
Responsibility for it from his shoulders, as in his estimations, Kendrick basically plucked the notion of Drake as a misogynist out of thin air, and nothing that Drake himself did.
I do believe we're gonna see some shit.
You know, I wonder, bro, if Akademiks, DRAKE-ISHA, the whole bunch, bro, you know what I'm saying? You think them motherfuckers would ever use mustard again on their hot dogs, on their burgers? You know what I mean? You think they'd ever somebody go past them some mustard and forget that? I was just thinking, you know, it's just my bad. Let's go.
The atmosphere right now for Drake breeds believability. If you're a woman who Drake ran through, which he ran through a lot of them, he ran through a lot of niggas' wives, baby mamas, you know, sisters, cousins, all of that stuff.
Man, you're not helping your boy by saying this. You're not helping the argument that people have when they talk about DRAKE-ISHA. This justifies a lot of what's been happening towards him and being said, reactors coming out, speaking their mind. This is why he's been getting so many L's, because exactly what the fuck you're admitting to right now, bro.
Some of these people are disgruntled. I'm not saying that means it's completely false, but in the era of trying, and this is why I mentioned that he had
fucked up. He's trying to run it back. He fucked up
or whatever. You never heard about that. Now,
oh yes, they did. Subliminals.
The atmosphere that Kendrick created and probably other
subliminals
people
he was sending.
You know what? Let's amplify anything to do with Drake being seen legally as he's not like us in terms of cultural, or let's kind of hype up a story. Like, people file appellate briefs all the time.
With Akademiks, there appears to be a blind spot when it comes to Drake, as where he's critiqued every other rapper's conduct to within an inch of their lives, Drizzy always seems to get a pass. Even when people are beginning to wonder why he's doing streams with cultural outsiders like XQC and not Akademiks.
Man's gonna done streaming with people who have nothing to do with hip-hop. Nothing to do with hip-hop. I don't know who this boy is. I'm not shitting on him. I'm not saying nothing bad about him. I don't really know who he is to speak bad about him. The little clips I've seen, he looked very uncomfortable in the stream. That was just me going off on what I saw. The times he was laughing, but it looked so fake and forced, like there's somebody in the background pointing something at him, like, oh, you better act up. It looked fake. Yeah. Aiden Ross. What does Aiden Ross got to do with hip-hop? What does Aiden Ross got to do with rap? Always jumping into or inviting rappers on his platform to always try to do some weird shit. Every time I see him, he's always trying his best to do some weird-ish, taking off his shirt, grabbing somebody's ass, sitting down, and it's like the more street or gangster or whatever they like to call it, somebody's image may be, the more he tries to show out in his stream. You know what I'm saying? Which makes me know that you're a plant. You're an industry plant made to come out here and make people look bad. To up their image. You know what I'm saying? And I see this so much to the point where I have no respect for the guy. I'm like, bro, who is you? And then he goes on got the boy on side. They're literally glazing the whole stream. The biggest star he's had on there. He's been looking forward to this all his life.
Who have been in the trenches for him, it's Ak who is going out of his way to defend that behavior and insists that he's not being used.
So despite everything Akademiks has ever done for Drake as his umbrella holder in media, Drake has never made the time to say thank you. He's never invited dude to a show or a listening session
Facts.
or anything ever. What? I did this to build a business, and y'all see how good I'm doing. What did y'all do this for? To get hugs, pat on the backs, and listening party invites?
Yeah, he felt that one, bro.
Because I'm wondering what y'all got from all of these.
That message there kind of hit home, bro. He's trying to talk his way through, like, damn. Yeah.
I know a handful of rappers in the industry. I've never talked to Future. I've never talked to half of these people. But
they don't like you.
I don't think I'm old nothing. I promote
They
Future.
don't like
I don't
you.
think I'm old nothing.
You came on here promoting the violence in Chirac, in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Promoting it, loving it, building your whole base off of it. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. You are where you are. But, you know, nobody really had much respect for Akademiks because of that. Joe Budden checked him a few times on his BS. He had another guy on side there who checked him as well too, you know what I mean? Like,
from there, he's even pretty much argued that people were trying to tear him apart and that he had to keep the faith for the good of Drake's career.
I do realize in the next phase of them trying to attack Drake, and it's not that I'm like, oh, I'm trying to make sure they don't attack Drake. I'm starting to feel like these K-bots almost value me so much. They are egging, they're begging. It feels like begging at this point. Y'all are begging for me to turn on Drake. And I'm now almost like, I want to play it out. Let's play it out verbally. If I said fuck Drake, what happens? Why do y'all talk about this so much as a thing? If I say fuck Drake, what happens next?
Arguing that he's one of the final pieces of the puzzle to dismantle Drake once and for all, it appears that he's trying his best not to be compromised in the way that Kendrick suggested. But if there's one thing that might jeopardize what he sees as his special relationship to Drake, it's the fact that deep down, he's more of an admirer of his arch enemy than he's willing to admit. Yeah. Recently, he's been trying to frantically shoot himself some bail over Dot being #2 in his Spotify Wrapped and Not Like Us being at the top of the songs. Normally, Kendrick Lamar wouldn't sniff my Spotify Wrapped, but he's #2 on mine. The explanation for that is that's what happens when you beef with everyone's favorite rapper. We gotta listen to your shit cause of the beef. Beefing when it's just musical competition helps both artists. He's a fan, he's a fan, he's a fan. This is despite the fact that he verifiably knows all the words to his tracks. Because of how much of his time online is dedicated to defending Drake in every conceivable way, there's no one that could possibly take the crown of Chief OVO Avenger other than Ak. But in the pursuit of defending Drake, he's second only to Mal of the Rory and Mal podcast. In recent years, the
I was just about to pause and go forward because I was like, yo, we don't need to be. No. Oh, okay. So it's Adam22. What is Mathoff or a Drake fan? I didn't know that.
Former Joe Budden podcast host has become so much of a Drake Glazer that OVO Mal is a commonly used online nickname for him. And where Ak is at least capable of giving Kendrick credit where it's due at times, Mal has shown a complete aversion to objectivity
Mal is a different kind of Glazer, bro. I think Mal, like on the spectrum kind of Glazer, bro. Mal ain't all there. He one of them kids that were, you know, grew up in the hood but hated the hood. Hated everybody in the hood. You know, like, Ma, I don't want to live here. I want to live out in the country. Like, you know, I love going summer camp and being away from everybody. He look like one of them kind of dudes. I'm just, yeah, Mal's different. Like Uncle Ruckus when he was younger. That's Mal for me.
Since the beef commenced.
Who is rapping better?
I think that Kendrick is rapping better.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you do not,
yes,
man.
Here we go. Yes, I do.
Do you think that Kendrick is rapping better? He's putting out better songs? That record is not that good. I don't know what the fuck. That record would have been amazing if Drake really does have a single good. He did rap about it. Now y'all saying you mad he rapped about it. What are y'all talking about?
And as things have progressed, he's kept caping for Drake and defending every decision he made, all the while shading Dot whenever he can.
I wish he would have rapped that. Well, not the mind, body, and soul shit, but only facts can take me out, not fairy tales. That's a bar, and I wish he would have rapped it. Yeah. It looks kind of crazy when you're next to somebody that knows nothing about what's going on.
But y'all would have said the same thing if he put that bar on the song.
I like that bar.
He's bothered.
I want Drake. Wait,
no matter what
I'm the one that keeps saying I want Drake to continue to rap about this.
No, I understand that, but no matter what he says, what he does, we're gonna say He's bothered.
Oh, for sure.
He's affected by it. The star power is gone. He doesn't sit with anybody from the culture. It's like, bro, this is things he would have been doing even if the beef never happened. He would have been probably sitting with this dude because he has business with state.
Well, people have been saying that he hasn't sat with people in the culture. That was a complaint before the beef, is that he doesn't.
But he sat with people in the culture.
As the months have carried on, he's even taken his rhetoric to other platforms. And on a recent appearance on Earn Your Leisure, he seemed to be advocating for Kendrick to be blackballed for his claims against Drake.
I think that the fact that it shaped public perception, but again, and this is something that I said from the very start of this, love Kendrick fans, support Kendrick.
Yeah.
But him calling one of the biggest artists in the world a certified pedophile, to me, that was like, wait, y'all listening to this? You see what happened with Jaguar Wright just went on Piers Morgan and said what she said about Jay and Beyonce. You'll never see Jaguar Wright. You might not ever see Jaguar Wright on another major platform again in your life.
It's in statements like this where his unwillingness to acknowledge the hypocrisy.
Okay, right. If you want to step into the hip hop game and call yourself a rapper, there's certain things that come to the table with it. You know what I mean? And especially when you decide to initiate a beef, all rules go off the table. You started it. Now you want to complain about how the beef is going, how the battle is being won. You got flanked. You got a surprise attack on the left. They were jumping out the sky. Nobody told you they had air support, sea support. You thought it was just on land. It's not fair. Bro, this is war, bro. This is beef. No matter how you win, you better fucking win. Shit, man. Come on, man.
And Drake pushing his own narrative about K-Dot comes through. All the while, consciously overlooking the fact that when it comes to rap beef,
the glove in the background, man. Come on, man. Lauryn Hill. I see SZA there. Is that Mary J. Blige? Oh, gosh, man, they got some hits on here, man. But Sade, baby girl. I see you. Come on, let's go.
I really pushed this message to try to defamate his character. And again, I don't know his business, but I'm more than certain that it affected some brands. Absolutely. And some people to kind of be like, yo, let this die because we don't know what's going on with this pedophile thing. Like, let's just kind of...
Especially after the Puff thing.
It didn't get as much traction, but did he not call Kendrick Lamar a wife beater? And an abuser of women?
I think he posed the question, when you beat your girl, is because she's bigger than you.
Exactly. So that's calling him up.
But what's crazy is that it wasn't always this way, as over time, his allegiance to Drake has really intensified. Back in 2018, he seemed to understand why Pusha did what he did on Story of Adidon, as well as endorsing Joe's comments that mentioning wives escalates things a lot.
He said it. Pusha put it out there. Nothing is out of bounds right now.
What did Drake say about his fiance? He said her name, a wedding ring of what?
Said he was gonna make it ring.
But Push probably feels like
wait, time out. Before y'all go any further. I've been saying for quite some time, like Nick from a different generation, like you just speaking, you can't talk about somebody's girl.
Yeah, you beef
because the second you talk about somebody's girl, you have triggered something.
Yeah.
You have triggered another level in beef.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I'm getting on the phone, I'm looking for you. We gotta talk. Like we're not doing that.
Yo.
Thankfully, Rory isn't as unrelenting in it as his co-star. While he co-signed his lawsuit against UMG and portrayed it as a potentially industry-altering event, he saw the same holes as others in some of his logic regarding defamation.
Odd with the verbiage of defamation when one could say Drake did the same to Kendrick. Leave UMG out of this. Drake also said things that could be a clause for defamation if Kendrick did not do those.
Yeah, but did the label put money behind Family Matters? And is Kendrick in the middle of negotiating his contract with the same label?
Oh, I know the answer. I just wanted you to say it.
No, but that's what people are not understanding about this thing. It's not about what Kendrick said. It's, Kendrick said this, but then the label amplified that.
It's not about what he said,
to try to assassinate my character because I'm going through a renegotiation with them at the point in time.
Yep.
And the number I asked for is probably something that he's absolutely worth.
And I love these Glazers. You know why? Because they represent all the crazy ass stands that he has. And you see them and you're like, these are your stands that be jumping in the comments and be writing their ish. I see what they be acting and be like. I'm not even having an argument with you all. My deepest condolences, bro. Say a prayer for some of you.
But UMG is like, we don't want to pay him that.
Yeah.
Because what did they give him his last deal? 400 million? 500 million? Something like that?
I believe it was 4.
We think.
He's probably asking for at least...
to be around 4.
Yeah. He's probably asking for at least double that.
Oh, I think Drake would be asking for $1 billion.
While he'll often agree with Mal in the end, there are other times where he draws the line to protect the podcast's credibility. For example, after yet another rant aimed at J. Cole about how he damaged his credibility, Rory had to remind his co-host that he wasn't the only one who bailed out of the beef.
Cole would have been laying bars down if I was in that camp. Because I'd have looked that nigga right in his eyes in North Carolina like, nigga, it's fucking lit.
I gotta call bullshit. You're my man, but I gotta call bullshit. Okay, then how come at the end of Heart Part 6, Drake said, I don't want to rap anymore. You played this shit out. Why didn't you tell him to rap more? Because that's what we were looking for.
What did he say before that?
Yo,
I don't care about
he said drop, and then he said, why are you dropping too much?
Hold on.
Unsurprisingly, people have pointed out the preferential treatment that he gives Drizzy. Mal got all the smoke for Cole bowing out, but none for Drake when suing is a million times worse, shaking my head.
Facts.
In Mal, Drake has a reliable source for his every action to be upheld as the correct one, but his attempts to attack Kendrick have all fallen short. However, it's not just individuals like Mal and Akademiks on the East Coast that are coming for Kendrick. As over in Cali, Adam22 is doing the same thing, and seems intent on bringing Dot down.
I even got no... Adam is a joke, bro. Adam's a fucking joke, man. I used to watch No Jumper, and then after a while, bro, I was just like, yo, bro, y'all got this guy up here who, you know what I mean, acting like some master with his little around him, you know what I mean? And because he has a few black friends around, you know, all of a sudden it gives him A-OK to speak on certain matters and does what he wants. Man, look here, from time you turn into a cuckold, brother, and you got a next man dealing with your wife, bro. I know that y'all into that, but you know, like, come on now, bro. Yeah, I just couldn't take nothing he did or said seriously ever again. It was just, you a joke, bro. You a joke. And I saw the video. She said, look like she was having the time of her life. Did I say I saw the video? Oh, yeah, I was watching Mulan. A great Disney movie, you know.
More than anything else. Ever since the beef went down, Adam has been blasting Kendrick and praying for his downfall, even taking exception to the interview he did with SZA in Harper's Bazaar, which was in no way meant to be about the Drake scenario.
I was left with the feeling this may all backfire on Kendrick at some point, because he has built himself up now to be such an elitist character in the space. I think at a certain point, people are going to realize, like, oh, like, we really trusted this guy and that it's just not really panning out.
And who the fuck are you to speak? Who people? Which audience are you talking for? Which group of people are you speaking for? I know you ain't talking for us. Who people? Who gave you permission or even the right to speak on anybody? You must be talking about your cuckold fan base, right? Must be. I don't know where we are here. I mean,
because to me, that interview had so little substance to it, so many words and so little actual, like, thought-provoking sentiments expressed in it.
At the same time, he leapt to Drizzy's defense, including a controversial endorsement of his lawsuit. While it could be argued that Adam is a man who definitely knows a thing or two about publicity stunts backfiring, he's really intent on turning himself into Kendrick's chief hater and making himself a public enemy of his fans.
Kendrick is like the Donald Trump of hip hop now. And let me tell you why. Donald Trump's fan base.
He did not. He did not just do that.
Is kind of like a cult. Because no matter what Donald Trump does, they never find fault with him.
This is bullshit.
He can do things that were they done by the Democrats,
he's on some
everybody
bullshit.
Would be able to agree that they were
Drake
wrong.
had the popularity vote, did he not?
But here's the thing.
Did he not?
Now we have Kendrick superfans who are telling us that actually...
This is being said by a DRAKE-ISHA superfan. A superfan calling somebody else a superfan because you've been superfanned out. Somebody is more of a fan than you to the opposition. Yeah, this guy's a dickhead.
Buying plays and payola. It's actually totally fine. It's actually like you calling
Man,
out.
how the hell you can make Whack 100 seem like the voice of reasoning? Anybody who could have Whack looking like the voice of reasoning and actually speaking fact, man, you gotta be a fool, bro. Seriously, you gotta be a big ass right or 100% fool. Like, yo, bro, Whack here looking like the sane one, bro. What the fuck is going on?
Payola and the bots makes you wrong.
Along the way, he's even been attempting to take credit for the features on K-Dot's album, as every one of them have touched No Jumper. Yeah, Adam, I'm sure Kendrick found this homie hit a J3 when he came to your studio in Melrose. Right. Much like Mal, Adam's attempts to completely discredit Kendrick is counteracted by Whack 100.
Drake's bargaining power is so much less now than it was a year ago.
First of all, of course, everybody's is. Let me
but
explain.
His is because of this.
Everybody, listen, when Drake, I'm just throwing numbers out there. When Drake got this last 400 million or whatever, right?
Right.
And he was #1, and I'm throwing numbers out there. You're #1 at $1 billion. I'm throwing numbers out there, but if we go check, we'll see. His #1 spot was based upon $1 billion number. 4 years later, you come back, you recoup the money, and you like, I want 600 million. Hey, brother, the climate has changed. Your #1 now is showing 700 million, okay? Your #1 spot is at a 700 million number. We gave you 400 million based upon your #1 spot being at $1 billion.
You ain't worth the same.
Everybody's numbers has dropped.
From there, he contradicted his own points, tying himself in knots with his own arguments.
You're mad that the very same things they did to elevate your career
are being used maliciously by the label against him.
So he's supposed to be the only one that reaped the benefits of marketing and promoting.
I think in his mind, yeah, that would probably be great, yeah.
This is where they said he's a plant, that he's not part of the culture.
Yep.
That's right there.
And Adam22 here understands this so well because he a plant. And he ain't part of the culture. You know what I'm saying? Aiden Ross, he's a plant. He ain't part of the culture. And then people come on and like, who are you guys to be saying, oh, yeah, they're not part of the culture. Yeah, we talking to you lot. Because y'all weren't, and then you had somebody who was a plant that you guys could relate to, and now you guys like, yeah, hip-hop, my favorite rapper. It's just, I find it funny when people always come and tell me, yeah, he's the best rapper out there, and they give me somebody like Drake. Or, let me stop at the or. And you ask them like, yo, all right, give me your top 5 rappers. And none of them are rappers. They from no hood, no project area. They don't got no kind of melanin in their skin tone, you know what I'm saying? What the top 5 is what? Shit, I might as well go get Snow. I'll put him in your top 5, you know? Informer. I'm sorry, I can't help it. Let's roll.
Football, pimping, gang banging made the best man win just because it didn't work out for you.
And even when he led with the same K-Bots narrative as his fellow OVO Avengers, he was met with the same response that Drake can only expose these things.
People like Adam22, right, was always wanting someone, you know what I mean, to step into the culture of hip-hop for them to be able to speak about it. There's nobody else around. They didn't feel comfortable with any other black rappers when there's so many of them, you know what I mean? That's rap, you know what I mean? Like, rap is open to everybody. Don't get twisted, this ain't no one. But to speak on the actual essence of hip-hop, he didn't want to speak on none of the originals. Drake came in, you know, who was a bit closer to what he could relate to, and was like, yes, finally, I have a savior. DRAKE-ISHA, thank you. And anybody who attacks you, I'm gonna go full 100. Now shut the fuck up. Somebody tell Adam22 to go and check on his wife, yeah?
because he reaped the benefits of it. Payola is older than everyone out here on the internet. Drake is trying to expose something everyone already knows, but he really exposed he's a loser instead of an artist who can admit when they've been beat. Still, he refuses to back down. In fact, he doubled down and made it clear that he had taken a side when he started pressing a security guard over a PG Lang hat.
Yo, you know you're not just gonna come around with a PG Lang hat on without us cooking you, right? Kendrick head ass. It's all good, man. That's the best thing we got going.
When you consider the age bracket that these individuals are in and who they appeal to audience-wise, there is really no surprise that people like Mal, Adam, and Ak are writing for Drake. But what's way more shocking is that an elite lyricist, who you'd assume would be with K-Dot, is actually intent on endorsing Drake's point of view. A former battle rapper turned podcast.
I want to hear this, because this I find very amusing. 'Cause I swear there was footage back in the day where Math admitted to going out to a club, whatever, with a girl he was seeing, you know what I mean, whatever, on the side, whatever, but she was there. And then next minute he knew she's over there. She's the one who wanted him to go to the club. Next minute she's over there with Drake. Or she was talking to Drake. Before he knew it, she was being flown out to Canada. He goes, bruh, I can't get vexed, you know, slime. He just showed he was a bigger slime. You know what I mean? Like he didn't hold no kind of feelings, but you knew on the cover he was like, yo, bruh. And now he's here actually defending Drake. I'm Math. What's happening, bro? What's happening, Math? You know what I'm saying? I used to watch the Math Hoffa podcast, you know, because it was great. But then he was going through so many co-hosts, so many. Like it's after a while, it just made you start thinking like, yo, fam, is the problem you? Before I'm thinking as a co-host, I know you came into battle rap, URL, knocking out Dose, knocking out people, Serious Jones, etc. That bully kind of mentality. You know what I'm saying? Got into the beef with Troy. Not Troy Ave. What's the guy that Troy Ave got into the thing with? Who's in jail right now, man? Tax Stones. You know what I mean? Like, so I kind of slipped back because I realized, like, yo, fam, what you been on? What you been doing? You know, his podcast is kind of taking a dive down. Him and Charleston White got into it. He's been getting into it with a lot of people online, you know, allowing people online to bring him out of character, to fuck up your brand. That's why I don't argue. I might go back and forth online with people. Oh, God, it's entertaining. I like winding people up. I ain't gonna lie. You write something real bad and I'll reply with something that really pisses you off. And I'm staying positive in the reply the whole time. Yeah, I refuse to let anybody get me out of character. I'm not saying please try. That wasn't no kind of invitation. Please, I haven't got time for that. But like, I just find it so weird. Like, Math, the DRAKE-ISHA stan. Yo, fam, come on now.
Caster, Math Hoffa has really gone hard for Drake in a way that he has left his own audience baffled. Bruh. At first, he rode into the battle for him and even got offended on his behalf when faced with the argument that if Drake knows this payola and botting scheme goes on, he might have used it to win with previous beefs, such as his war with Meek Mill.
That's you.
But it hasn't always gone so well.
In a nutshell, here's what I think. I'm not debating with you motherfuckers on who won. I don't give a fuck who you think won. What I give a fuck about. So both these guys under the same label, the label is not supposed to pick sides. And if you're the guy that's getting the big bag, for some reason, they don't like that. So they want to bring down the guy with the big bag. Now, Kendrick may have did it on his own merit, you know, with his own hard work and all the records that he...
It's reached the point where he's getting actively trolled and accused of caping for an interview, only to then bring out hypothetical situations to try to prove his point.
How we gonna laugh at that? Because what happens when it's a white rapper going against Kendrick?
Attempts to try and rationalize his stance.
But that's what it... The white rapper going against Kendrick. Man, that's what Drake is acting like right now, bro. Drake is acting like it's the white side of him coming out, bro. I'm not trying to say nothing, but you know what I mean? Like, Drake is acting like, you know what I'm saying, you ain't really hip-hop, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you doing, but you taking people to court. That's the Karen in you. The Karen is coming out, bro. What are you talking about? If a white man, Drake is half Karen. He's showing his Karen sides right now. You get angry with that tough luck. Facts. I'm saying it. It is what it is. How the fuck are you suing somebody in a battle rap? I've been watching battle rap for the last 20-some years. I remember when... I remember when... You want to talk Math Hoffa, bro. I remember when Iron Solomon was killing these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Let's go way back to battle rap when Murder Mook was on the corner. A real battle rap. Back in the day. You understand? Loaded Lux. Oh shit, let me not. Y'all get me emotional here, bro. So, yo, this some BS, man. Tell Matthew need shit out, bro.
People are struggling to understand how someone who is entrenched in hip-hop
I don't
culture...
want to say your views, but I realize your channel has not been getting the same kind of success it has before. And it's because of reasons like this. Sometimes it's good to stay unbiased at the same time to give your honest opinion. But, bro, never be trolling, hoping that somebody's going to come on your platform. You know what I mean? Like... But at the same time, too, stick to your truths. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. You know, I hope that I never have to filter. The only time I'll filter anything on YouTube is so YouTube don't strike me. I ain't filtering nothing because of what people might think. It's my opinion. I'll stand by it. You know what I mean?
like him can be siding with how Drizzy has conducted himself. Matt's trying to get that discount Drake feature. Matt's trying to get some OVO money. Wherever possible, those in support of Drake have attempted to portray the alleged botting and pay for play as if this was the ultimate underhanded tactic by Kendrick. In their estimations, it was an illegal act when Drake was just trying to compete on a level playing field. But this requires them to ignore the testimony of someone like Rob Marksman, a hip-hop journalism legend who claimed that the OVO team tried to sweeten the pot to get his support during the beef.
I tell you one further, and I'm gonna be honest, and I haven't said this, and I was approached during the battle by a team connected with the OVO side and asked me to show the boys some love. You know, again, I was being as unbiased as possible. I was calling it like I said, but they asked me, yo, we know you're unbiased. Really said it. We know you're unbiased, and we like that you're unbiased and you really try to call it straight, but can you show the guy some love? No, absolutely no money was offered. They kind of offered some things, some information, some access, and say, yo, and we'll make it that you could play his songs in your videos. You know, we'll whitelist it. Ultimately, I declined.
Ultimately, Rob refused because he didn't want to sacrifice his professional reputation. And even then, he wasn't really going at Drake. Instead, he just relayed his own experience. But the same can't be said for some other media figures in the game. Because now, every personality that Drake made an enemy of is now using the lawsuit story as a gateway to tear him to shreds. First, there's Charlemagne the God, a man who's had issues with Drake for years and was even
well, I didn't want to hear about Charlemagne because he needs to go check his boy Schultz, who's another Drizzy Glazer going at Kendrick Lamar. You need to check your boy Schultz on your podcast. You understand me? Real talking, bro.
Assaulted by him on Instagram just last year, the Breakfast Club host has been making a mockery of his decision to sue whenever he can.
All I'm saying, Aubrey, is stop acting like you haven't been the beneficiary of record label technology, okay? You being a whole hoe simply because you lost. Simply because Kendrick Lamar kicked your ass lyrically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. And anybody acting like this is anything more than Drake's feelings being hurt, you a hoe too. A hoe to be exact. Okay?
And along the way,
I'm sorry. Did you hear what Charlemagne say? Yeah, if your feelings are hurt, you a hoe too. O-V-O. He said it. I'm just fortifying it. Like, yeah.
He's issued warnings to Kendrick about his stadium tour, as once he announced the tour dates, he feels Charlemagne might try and be obstructive in the same way as he had been when Schoolboy Q and Sir tried to play in Toronto in the midst of the beef.
And it's gonna be crazy, and we already seen when Rick Ross went there and he played Not Like Us and he was bopping out to it. What happened to him?
Oh, it's gonna be a lot different with Kendrick.
Oh no, I know it's gonna be a lot different, but he's stopping there on the tour on Father's Day weekend.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't think I would make that stop. You know what I'm saying? Not because of no street stuff either. We know how connected Drake is in Toronto as far as with government officials and who else. Like they might just make life difficult for Kendrick on that level. Forget the street stuff. I'm talking about being detained or, you know, you can't even trust people at the airport. Who can you really trust in Toronto?
Although he has clowned Drake for taking legal action, Rory and Mal have clapped back and claimed that he doesn't have a leg to stand on considering he's done similar things.
He has been on retainer with Atlantic for, I don't know, 15 years. So I do understand why his rant exists.
Yeah.
Nobody should try to audit the major labels because they'll see Charlemagne the God as a line item. and on top of that, I think it's funny that somebody is mad at Drake doing ho shit by sending lawsuits, C&Ds, petitions about being called a pedophile when he has sent C&Ds to people because they were calling him a certified pedophile.
For some other former enemies of Drizzy's, they found the way to be objective when they want and outright offensive at times.
Yeah, Drake here just kind of pissed off with what's happening to him he's been doing to everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
The prime example of this is Joe Budden. As the news of the lawsuit broke,
who Drake first copied his style. Joe was one of his favorite rappers, and when you listen to early Drake, he sounded like Joe Budden. Now he's just copying everybody's style.
It's fair to say that Budden went pretty hard on Drizzy.
We see what he's doing at the face of adversity.
Or he's a selfish, lying, manipulative sack of shit who has made enemies for 15 years, and now we're here at the fucking boiling point.
They both could be true.
You've been behind the scenes being the biggest sack of shit you can possibly be. I'm not here to fucking play games with you niggas. Niggas know what it is out there.
This makes a lot of sense. I've literally devoted an entire video to the simmering hate between these two. So it should be expected that when Drake is down, Joe might take a swipe. But he's capable of seeing his side of the coin too. And recently, he cast aside the
Drake fucked his ex-wife or his ex-fiance. Taji or whatever her name is. You know what I'm saying?
narrative that he couldn't do a stadium tour.
I'm not gonna say that Drake is not, what are we talking about, stadium? Stadium act. Let's deal with facts. He hasn't done one yet.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's where I would be.
If the did 6 shows straight at Madison Square Garden, I don't know what it looks like if he tries to do a stadium tour, 1, and 2, I don't know that he's just trying to circumvent the fees that come along with stadium tours. I don't know. Again, above my pay grade. But it is a flex that Kendrick is doing stadium tours, 1, and doing the stadium in Toronto.
Above all, if there's one thing that those in the media who aren't rolling with Drake can agree on, it's that the lawsuit just isn't a good look.
Stop right there, man. Big flex, big flex. But I'm saying, got all these Glazers out here, you know what I'm saying? And if you were Glazer too, this might be going at you. You better stop. Man, what the fuck? Who you glazing? You too grown. You adults are. You ain't be glazing nobody. You know what I mean? Shit. Y'all be sugarcoating them. You're getting whipped without the cream. What the hell is this, man? Like, OVO. It is what it is, man. 2025, man. If you guys decide they want to see me react to more stuff like that, please let me know. Let me know. I'm going to put links in the description. You can see my other reactions that I have. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, be safe, stay blessed. Wagwan, my people. Have a good one.